How's it going, everybody? This is Tom Driver. Hope you're having another great day, and welcome back to another video. Alright, for this video, I'm going to be talking about the 3 reasons why you should be using your PTO wisely. Now, the reason why I say this is because we all have it. It's one of our benefits whenever we get ourselves a new job, but it's really hard to understand when to use it or exactly figure out how to use it in a proper way. So, I'm going to give you 3 appropriate reasons as to why you should be using your PTO wisely. Now, obviously, whenever you are starting a new job, obviously one of the major things you need to learn about are the pay and also the benefits to go along with the description of your actual job. And usually, most of the times, one of those things that you would get as a perk is paid time off. However, it's usually very hard to be able to schedule a perfect possible time for you to be able to utilize your PTO, because usually most of the time, you usually have a whole lot of work going on. Usually a lot of projects that you have to complete, and maybe even some extracurricular stuff to go on as well. It's just very hard to be able to really utilize it effectively. And you know, there are some people that have been even skeptical about having PTO as a benefit of its own. And I was one of those people. Whenever I was starting at my part-time jobs, it was usually just get in, do your work, and get out. When I got my job in New Jersey City, obviously I was really skeptical myself about utilizing PTO. But obviously, once I learned a little more about it, I obviously started using it a little bit more. And obviously, to make sure that I was fully prepared to be able to come back to work refreshed and ready to roll. So obviously, PTO can be a major benefit. But for those that are wondering why it can be a benefit, it can really be for 3 reasons. And the first of which is that it allows you to recharge. It allows you to get some time off to refresh after a hectic period of a lot of long hours of work and a whole lot of extracurricular activities, just so that way you can unwind and really just, recharge, really just figure out some things that you can do to really get yourself fully prepared to get back into the game. Now, obviously, as I said before, during your time at work, you're going to be going through some very long periods of very long work hours, and obviously there's going to be a lot of projects that you're going to be going through during this time. It could be like marketing projects, it could be development projects, heck, it could be a whole lot of operations and all of that stuff. There are so many things that you have to worry about on your plate that it can really leave you stressed out. And obviously during that time, because of all those projects, it can really cause you to have mental burnout as a result. Obviously it's going to be very hard for you to be able to concentrate on your work, and sometimes that can really lead to a decrease in your performance, and as a result, it can make it very hard for you to be able to get through all of your work without having some sort of emotional or mental meltdown or something like that. Well, that's where that PTO comes in. Once you complete that very long stretch of hard work that you have to go through, you really need to have that time off. And really, because you earned it, you really reward yourself with that opportunity to take some time away from work, so that way you can be able to take your mind off of that stress that you have just completed and really have that time to just refresh. Obviously, maybe just have a good snack or two and really just enjoy yourself for a little while. And yeah, obviously one of the things that you can do, obviously, is just watch your favorite TV shows or movies or something like that, or maybe even play video games like I do, or maybe sometimes just go out for a walk or two every single day. Maybe just for like a couple hours or so, just enjoy that fresh air and just have a lot of fun in doing so. Those are just some of the things that you can do to be able to refresh yourself. So yeah, obviously whenever you're in that job, you are going to have to go through a lot of stress during a very long period of time. And so obviously that's where that PTO comes in, so that way you can be able to get that fresh air and really just re-energize after that long period. The next reason is because it allows you to spend time with your family. Now obviously, if you're in a 9-to-5 job like I am, it's very hard for you to be able to spend some time with your family, because really every single day, and especially if you're also doing weekend work as well, you're only going to be able to spend some time with them for at least 4 or 5 hours once you get home. And then once you wake up, you gotta go straight to work, and you gotta do it every single day over and over again. Sometimes you just need that family time, and so obviously that's where that PTO comes in. Maybe you have a week or 2 vacation. Maybe go out somewhere to a different location, like a state or maybe even a famous city like New York or Philadelphia or something like that, and really just make it a family week. Just have some fun with them, try some new food, and see some cool activities as well. Try some new things as well. That will really help keep you engaged with your family during this time, because we all need that time with our families, because it's really hard to really go through a single day, except the weekends, where you're really having that time to be able to spend with them. I mean, obviously you have a parent, obviously sometimes if you're somebody that's living with your family, or maybe sometimes you are married and you obviously have your kids or something like that. you're only going to get very little time during the week to be able to spend time with them because of your 9 to 5 job. And without that PTO, it's only going to make it that much harder. Obviously, you still got to make that dough, but obviously that's one good thing about PTO is that even during your time off, you still get paid during that time as well. So obviously, that's one thing that can really help alleviate some of that stress, obviously. And so really just reward yourself with some time with your family, just go out, maybe fly out of the country for a little bit and just, spend some time with them, have some fun. Because obviously, family is the most important thing in your life next to your particular job. Obviously they are the ones that you are caring for, and you really need to make sure that everything is okay with them and you at least have some fun with them. So obviously, if you really want to spend a whole lot of time with them, make sure you utilize that PTO wisely, so that way you can have that family vacation or two for at least a week or so. Finally, the third and most important reason why you should be using your PTO wisely is one of the points that I mentioned before. It allows you to be ready to get back in the game, so that way whenever you are ready to return, you are fully refreshed, you are focused, and you are ready to tackle your next project. Again, it takes a lot to be able to go through multiple weeks of endless projects, for several hours, heck, even staying past 5 p.m. sometimes just to be able to get all of your projects done in one particular day. Trust me, that puts a lot of stress on your mind. Having that PTO, it allows you not only to alleviate that, but it allows you to be fully refreshed, so that way you can be able to get back in your game and be ready to tackle your next project and ultimately lead the way for your team. In order to be successful at your job, you really need to have that energy to be able to go through an endless amount of projects every single day. And without that PTO, without that opportunity to recharge, if you stay there for a long period of time without having at least a single day or a week of PTO or so, as I said before, it's going to be that much harder for you to remain focused and happy at that particular job. And as a result, it's going to be much harder for you to be able to maintain your job as well, because you're going to go through a lot more projects, and if you're not fully energized, trust me, you're going to have a very hard time being able to complete all of your projects. Take it from me, and me and several of my colleagues at New Jersey Symphony, we're going through the same exact thing every single day. There are endless amounts of projects that we have to keep track of every single week, and obviously without that PTO, it makes it that much harder for us to be able to remain focused, so that way when we come back, we'll be able to get all those projects done in an appropriate period of time. Now obviously there are some projects where if it's in the middle of your PTO, you are going to have to work that out with your fellow colleagues to see who wants to take that, or if you want to push that back for a little bit of time. But obviously, having that PTO to really refresh, it really helps you to be able to mentally focus on what you have to do next when you return at your job. Performance is very important. Obviously you need to be able to keep that up and really work to the best of your ability, so that way you can be able to maintain your job and also have that opportunity for raises, opportunities for promotions, and really further recognition for your work. It's very important that you really have that at your job. So as long as you're utilizing your PTO efficiently after a long period of stressful work, not only will you be able to refresh, you'll also be re-energized and ready to rock. So that way when you get back to it, you'll be a lot more ready to tackle your projects, be able to lead your team through the entire period of that time, and really show that you can be a very good leader and a very solid employee at your organization. I know it's really hard to be able to utilize your PTO nowadays because of all the work that you have to do. Literally every single week, you're likely going to be going through at least 5 to 10 major projects at a certain period of time. And trust me, that takes a lot of time away from your family and also puts a lot of stress on your mind. And you really need to have that time to refresh and recharge whenever you get through that entire period. That is exactly where your PTO comes in. And that's why it is very important that you utilize it. It's a benefit for a reason. You need the opportunity to reward yourself after you go through that long period of hard, stressful work to really be with your family and just have that chance to recharge. So make sure you are utilizing that PTO wisely. So that way, not only do you have that opportunity to recharge and be with your family, but you can also be re-energized and focused, so that way you can be ready to get back in your job and be back to 100% again. If you keep going without your PTO, trust me, it's only going to get a lot more stressful from you for there. And trust me, I don't know if you really don't want to end up going through that and potentially having a real mental burnout. Alright, that's going to do it for this video. Now, obviously the PTO is one of the most important benefits that you have, and it's very important, as I mentioned before, to utilize it wisely. So I'd like to hear from you. Those that have that benefit at your particular job, how do you use your PTO? You know, how do you utilize it after a long period of stressful work? Do you just spend it at home, or do you just spend some time with your family? I mean, I would like to hear from you. Feel free to let me know down in the comments below. I'll be more interested in hearing your opinions about it. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. As always, if you'd like to see more of my content, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know my latest video is released. Comment below for future suggestions for all my videos, whether it's blogs, projects, or challenges, you name it. Leave it in the comments below and I'll do my best to make them. As always, follow me on my social media. All the links are in the description below. That's going to do it for this video. I hope you're having another great day. As always, I hope to see all of you again in another video very soon. So long, everybody.